people, including creating or securing about 5,000 job opportunities per year, both locally and also internationally.
Okay.
I want to also promote talent for the young people. The youth empowerment centers that are here need to be equipped and need to be operationalized. I will create them into ICT hubs so that the young people can have free Wi-Fi and they can do online jobs, and they can also be able to apply for tenders in government. I will do so much for the young people.
Okay. Chalagat.
Yeah, while I will endeavor to ensure that there is equitable distribution of opportunities, at the same time resources, I am more concerned of performance and service delivery. I won't mind taking as many youths as I can if they compete competitively and they prove that they can deliver very well to the people of Baringo County. So it's the question of the capacity and ability to deliver. Otherwise, I have no problem. I will ensure that there is that equitable distribution of the opportunities.
Okay. Okay. Cialo.
I lead a team here in East Africa for the Private Equity Kingdom Capital, and the chief legal officer is a lady, operation officer is a lady, marketing is a lady, so I have no problem whatsoever working with ladies, but that is going to be arranged when we go forward. Now, coming to the question of youth, of course I'm just getting to 40. And to be getting to 40, that means I am the one who is the closest and understand the technological advancement in the world, and I am the one who can be able to work very closely with the youth.
What is close to 40, please?
I'm getting to 40 years old, that's what I'm saying.
So you're 39?
So I'm 39 going to 40.
Okay.
Yeah, and that means I am the one who is representing the face of Baringo County, of the energy of the future. We are the people of the future, and the youth are the people I represent. TVET will be one place I will be working, because I've already worked with private equity to finance fintechs and to see how we can venture into such ideas and concepts that are sometimes community and socially impactful. And I will do that with the youth, not just in absorbing them into the government, but James Smart had already said we have to restructure the way we do things in this county. And the best way to do it is to turn Baringo into a homeland of business. It is business, and youth will get jobs.
Okay.
Jobs and jobs.
Professor.
Yes, I appreciate the fact that youth play a very crucial role. It's unfortunate after several years that we have not developed talent in this county. We don't have any athletics camp which is funded fully by the county government. These are the avenues which we can use to ensure that we take care of the needs of the youth. So when I'm given the opportunity of being the governor, I will ensure that we exploit fully talent development so that we allow the youth to exploit their talent, and through that means they will be able to make income for themselves. Number two, through my government also, partnership and linkages is very important, so that we look at opportunities not only in Kenya, we look at opportunities not only in the county, but also we go international. And that requires that we should develop partnership and linkages so that we are able to ensure our youth are taken care of. When it comes to issues, procurement and etc., it is practice, it's a requirement that 30% should also be given to youth. And therefore, if they don't have funds, I will be able, in my government, to facilitate them participating in the county procurement processes, so that when you do that, you will be allowing them to build their financial base. Lastly, on the same, I'm also a believer of ensuring that the youth become part of my government. So 30% of the CECs, 30% of the CEOs will be part of the youth, people less than 35 years, because I believe in building them. I believe they will make a contribution in the government, and I will live by it.
Okay, thank you. Isn't
I hope you'll give me more time since I'm the last one on this topic. So James Smart, in Eldama Ravine constituency, the constituency for which I represent at the moment, we set up an ICT hub, a world-class ICT hub. If you come to Mwachon, a village called Mwachon, you'll find the Rift Valley ICT hub, where the youth in that region are able to access free internet. At the same time, in Eldama Ravine. If you come to Eldama Ravine, we were able to operationalize the Eldama Ravine Technical Training Institute so that the youth can be able to get the relevant skill. If you come to Eldama Ravine in terms of talent development, we have been purposely running Eldama Ravine Half Marathon and sometimes Chimazuzu Dam Half Marathon, again to identify talent. Now, James Smart, this story of youth is, it's big, it's more serious than the way we are taking it. I just said at the beginning that in this county, when 10,000 candidates sit Form 4 exams, 6,000 get D+ and below. Of course, in Kenya, you know, when 700 sit that Form 4 exam, 431,000 get D+ and below. That is where my focus is, to make sure that 4,500 every year of that group, of that D+ and below, must get the relevant skill every year. I've done my maths. I need to spend 100 million to make sure that 4,500 youth get that skill. In this county, James Smart, and also in Kenya, there are so many youth who are engaged in border-borders and border-border circles. They ride the whole day, but they take nothing home. Why? Because they have to pay whoever facilitated them to get that motorbike, the banks or the fulizas of this world and all that. We must create credit for the youth in Baringo so that border business becomes a relevant business, so that it becomes a real business. We also have a big story on graduates. We have so many graduates who degree holders and diploma holders who are jobless. That is a story for the party I belong, the story for UDA. I am not here to tell you about that story. It's a big story. We'll be unveiling it very soon as UDA in terms of what are we going to do for degree holders, what are we going to do for diploma holders.
Okay.
But my story is about the D+ and below. I intend to run a very lean government. I know the cost of an additional CEC, that you need 10 million shillings per year for you to have a CEC. So if I take the maximum, if I take 10 CECs against the minimum, if I take 6 instead of 10, I'll have saved 40 million, which can support so many other human beings. And again, I know the cost of one chief officer per year, not less than 7 million shillings. You take 20, my friend, that's a lot of money, which we need to run a lean government. I intend to run a lean government which can benefit many people in this county. I thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. There's the question on tourism and hospitality to tie into this question. And it so appears that Baringo County is not branding itself correctly. This is the home of Lake Baringo, Bogoria, Cap Narok, known as the paradise for bird watchers, right? And we're not branding it correctly. Something is not happening that should happen in this sense. Professor, let me start with you. On the question of how Baringo can start selling itself in terms of tourism, in terms of hospitality, what are your ideas on fixing this and branding this county correctly?
Yeah, thank you very much. One, I've had the privilege of serving as a PS in charge of wildlife. That was my last appointment in government. And it is true that Baringo County has scenic areas. It has also Tukumoi. It is known internationally for bird watching. In fact, there are some birds which come from Europe, and their stopover is Tukumoi area. And in our tourism circuit in the ministry, we've identified those very important areas which can sell Baringo. And so, apart from the lakes, we also have a geopark, which was also accredited by UNESCO, so that it is part of the geoparks internationally known. So all those important areas, like Lake Bogoria and ETC, they have been mapped in the tourism circuit for North Rift and also in Rift Valley. So the idea now is to go to the next level. In fact, in the ministry, we thought we will be able to actualize some factors, but because of the COVID issues, there was some restriction a little bit.
Okay.
But I must say that the contribution I've made in the ministry is to ensure that we've documented through Kenya Tourism Board all the scenic areas, all the tourism circuits cutting across Rift Valley, and it includes also Baringo.
All right.
Number two, I also want to encourage the investors, and the investors for this case is me and you, the great people of Baringo. Can we invest in our county? The reason is when we get tourists coming to Baringo County to come and watch our scenic, our lakes and etc., their bed space is being taken by either Nakuru County or Uasin Gishu County, or Elgeyo Marakwet for that matter. So it is important that we upscale the issue of hospitality. We should be able to build more resort centers so that when people come to Baringo, they are able not only to look at the scenic and the tourism sites we have, they should also be able to spend in the county, because it is through that spending in the county, 2 days, 2 nights, or 3 nights, that we will be able to get money circulating within the economy.
Okay, thank you.
So there are good plans for that, and I know tourism is an in thing, and all of us, if we believe in Baringo, let us invest in our county. And I'm going to lead by example, and I've already led by example to ensure that we are part of that process.
Thank you. Richard, do you have a good idea, a better idea on how tourism and hospitality and how Baringo can brand itself and be different?
Yes, absolutely. First, we have to document all our tourist products. Our tourism is not limited to what we see, Lake Bogoria and Lake Baringo. We have so many other potential tourism attraction sites. So I'll start by documenting. Secondly, we want to brand and market Baringo as a tourist destination. Because if people don't know what we offer, then they will not be able to come. We should also market local tourism. So I will market, brand, and ensure that everybody in this world knows Baringo products. We have cultural tourism. The level of culture that we have in Ilchamus, in Pokot, in other places, these are enough for tourism. We also have to invest in infrastructure. The infrastructure to access Lake Bogoria, as you may have traveled, is so pathetic. The roads network is so bad. We have tourist attraction sites in Tenges, in a place called Kureswa. There are so many ills. Lastly, investment in hospitality. We have to attract the investors, and I'll borrow from Professor. We have to reach out there because there are people who have ability to build 5-star, 3-star hotels in Baringo. And these are sons and daughters of Baringo who are able to do great things here. We will want to maximize from tourism. I want to promise that through tourism, we will have to raise up to 200, 300 million to this economy through tourism. Thank you.
Okay. Governor, do you have a good idea and a better idea on how to do this county differently and how to brand it differently?
I want to appreciate the sentiment made. It is very true that we are number 18. Yet we are supposed to be not further than number 5. We have scenic sites. We appreciate that. We are informed that the Haliman are already into crisis. It was a fossil that was found in Rondinin. The other day I had to look for it until we found those guys who took it. And we are now establishing a museum at Rondinin. We have set aside 11 million for that purpose. We want also to appreciate the various forms of tourism activities that are in Baringo. I've hosted Safari Rally. I've also hosted Rhino Church. And recently, as Professor has indicated, Baringo became the first county to have the status of a geopark, which we are working with UNESCO to ensure that all those sites, and you can also attest to this, that within Baringo now, they have put some signs indicating sites that are going to be of tourist attractions in Baringo County. We have also the third leg, Lake Abnarok, that
is being managed by us and national government. We are yet to agree with the locals there, and also some input from national government, so as to ensure that we foster tourism in that side, so that Keyo, like for example in Kenya, Masai Mara, and the other side of Tanzania, Serengeti, the animals are the same, but Tanzania are enjoying what comes out of that side of tourism together with Kenya. So we would wish that Elgeyo Marakwet and us also enjoy like Abnarok. So for that matter, we have also, with Kimosop and the Department of Environment and Tourism, they have also come up with some nature trails, like it is in other parts of the world. So somebody will run in the Mount Kenya, and then come straight all the way to this very scenic region, and then maybe get a plane in Eldoret.
Okay.
So they commenced last year, and allow me to appreciate also those of us who are seated here. We have those of them that have also fostered tourism in Baringo. They were in Samo. The other day were in Kerio Valley. Let's continue also marketing Baringo County together. Yeah, we have put some, the budget constraint was with us, also Fuliza. But now we are through the Fuliza. We're going to ensure that this site attracts also substantial amount of budget that will enable us foster tourism in Baringo County. On hospitality, let me request those of us who are here, if God has blessed you, please, we don't have hospitality interest here. It's still very low. Come and invest in those sites that are going to be shown to you by the Department of Environment and Tourism. With those few remarks, I want to say we have conservancies also. They are 13 in number. It's going to be grown into 60 because we are working together with the national government to ensure that Baringo becomes a tourist. Other than Mombasa and Masai Mara, Baringo becomes the third or the first. Thank you very much.
I hear you. Chaboy, do you have a good idea?
Thank you, Mr. Smart. We started this business of marketing Baringo County during the time that I was governor. Of course. To do when we get back to government in September. It is a question of building on where we were. The last time we had a very big conference on marketing, not only of marketing of tourism in Baringo County, but we are marketing all products of Baringo County. Thank you.
Okay, Listeners.
Yeah, I'm also worried, like you did. Why is it that we allowed the Lake Kapnarok Game Reserve to collapse? While we had governors and serious people and CECs, Lake Kapnarok Game Reserve collapsed. So I'm here to tell you that when I become governor, we shall allow more investors to put up hotels in Lake Bogoria and in Lake Baringo. Again, to attract investment in that industry of tourism, we are also going to make sure that land now is a very expensive affair. We shall make sure that the county provides land on lease basis, 20 years, 30 years basis, so that people will find it cheaper to come and put up their tented camps here in Baringo, to come and put up their hotels here in Baringo without the additional investment of land. I am focused on such investors because I believe it is through them that they can properly advertise the tourism opportunities in Baringo. When you visit Tiati, I have succeeded to be in Tiati for many days. The opportunities for tourism are unbelievable in Tiati. Inside Tiati, there's no business, there's no insecurity. So the opportunities are there. We just need to provide investors with land. And yes, Baringo will become more attractive to tourists.
All right. Cialo.
First of all, of course, is to secure Baringo, because that's the most important thing. And so I work very closely with the national government, because if this place is secure, then we can attract investment tourism. We want also to ensure that we introduce new attractions, first of all, to rehabilitate the touristic, the scenic, attractive places in Baringo, the beautiful places like Lake Kapnarok. I will immediately go there and desilt it. There's a machine here in Eldoret that can do that job. We will ensure that we work. Actually, the word of this thing is called partnership, so that we can build more hotels and tap into cultural tourism, tap into sports culture tourism, because we want to have, from Eldama Ravine all the way to Pokot, some international standard golf course, so that people can come here every 2 months in this county. And I promise, I am going to be the chief marketing officer of this county, to ensure that we understand that when we talk about tourism, we're not talking about someone with a white skin. We're talking about the ability of people in Mombasa, in Nairobi, in Kisumu, to travel to Baringo. And the only way we can do that is to make this homeland attractive. And the only way to make this land attractive is to tap into our sons and daughters who are able to do this investment, and also to partner with private capital.
Okay.
That's basically what it is.
All right. Talagat, you have the final word on the question on tourism and hospitality.
Yeah, given the opportunity, I will immediately source for funds to do what we call a quick SWOT analysis, come up with a workable strategic plan that can enable us move tourism and hospitality sector to the next level.
Okay, that is short and concise and to the point. Governor, there's a question from the audience. What did you mean by Fuliza? All right.
akakuja akakoroka serikali yetu, akasambaratisha chama yetu, akaharibu mpango ya Big Four, akatupeleka kwa mambo ya rege, na ndio maneno yote ikakwama. Mimi nataka nisimame hapa niwaambie, mimi nataka niwaulize, ile maneno kitendawili anasema ati tubadilishe katiba kwanza, tuongeze mamlaka ya rais, tuongeze vyeo ya viongozi, sijui tupange nini ya viongozi. Hiyo ndio mnataka ama tungebadilisha uchumi kwanza? Na wauliza nyinyi watu wa Longonot, mnakubaliana kitendawili atubadilishe katiba kwanza? Mnasema tubadilishe uchumi kwanza? Si tubadilishe uchumi kwanza jameni? Mnataka tubadilishe katiba ama uchumi? Katiba ama uchumi? Katiba ama uchumi? Hebu nione wala anasema uchumi tubadilishe kwanza. Na ndio tunasema mwaka huu kwa mapenzi ya Mungu tunaunda serikali itakayobadilisha uchumi, tuweke pesa kwa mfuko ya mwananchi wa kawaida. Neguo kana tiguo? Neguo. Tunasema hivi, wacha nirudie, mwaka huu kwa mapenzi ya Mungu hatuwezi kukubali bwana kitendawili atuangaishe tena na kubadilisha katiba na mambo ya vyeo na mamlaka. Mwaka huu tunatengeneza serikali ambayo itabadilisha uchumi, tuweke pesa kwa mfuko ya mwananchi wa kawaida. Longonot, tunaelewana? Tunaelewana jameni? Na ndio mimi nataka niwaambie, hiyo safari ya kubadilisha uchumi itaanza na hawa vijana. Tumesema mwaka huu tunaweka bilioni 100 kupanga ajira ya hawa vijana wetu hawa. Na tunaweka hiyo pesa katika miradi ya housing, agro processing, value addition, manufacturing, na miradi ambayo itapanga ajira ya hawa vijana. Kila kijana awe na pesa mfukoni, ajisimamie, asimamie familia yao, na watusaidie kujenga taifa la Kenya. Si ni kweli jameni? Si ni kweli? Jambo la pili, tunasema wera ni wera, kazi ni kazi, na tunasema kazi ya kila mtu lazima iheshimiwe. Na sisi kama serikali, hata kama biashara yako ni kidogo, watu wawache kiburi na madharau. Kazi ni kazi, hata kama kazi kidogo ya mwananchi. Sijui kama tunaelewana jameni? Tukiwezesha kila mwananchi biashara yake, tuwasaidie na pesa ya serikali. Wananchi wengi wanaangaishwa na mikopo ya watu wa Fuliza na mikopo ya watu wa Mashailo ambayo inaweka interest kubwa kwa wananchi hawa. Ndio sababu wananchi wengi wamewekwa kwa mambo ya CRB, kwa sababu hawawezi kulipa madeni ya Mashailo na watu wa Mafuliza. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Ni kweli? Mimi nauliza nyinyi, si watu wengi hapa wako kwa CRB? Si siku hizi kila mtu ako na simu mbili, kwa sababu ingine imezama kwa Fuliza, ingine iko hapo kando. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Na ndio tunasema hivi, mwaka huu kwa mapenzi ya Mungu, ili kumuwezesha mwananchi wa kawaida aweze kuinua na kupanua biashara yake, tunaweka hazina maalum, pesa ya serikali ambayo itapatiwa mwananchi wa kawaida na biashara yake ndogo, shilingi bilioni 50 pesa ya serikali, ili kila mwananchi apate pesa ya kupanua na kuinua biashara yake. Nyinyi mnanisikia wangwana wa hapa Longonot? Sikizeni. Mimi nimekuja hapa Nakuru mara nyingi. Nimetembea Kenya mzima. Nimefanya harambee ya watu wa bodaboda karibu vikundi 300.